Hello everyone, welcome to Arpita Sharma classes. Today we are going to start with another important topic from the perspective of prelims for your Indian history. Indian history में काफी important topic है वो है battles of Panipat. Not just for prelims but also for GS paper 1 and if you have history optional for that also. This topic, battles of Panipat, is very important. We are starting with the third battle of Panipat and then we are going to reach out to the first battle, second and then first. Okay, हम पीछे से start करेंगे. तो आज हम third battle of Panipat से start कर रहे हैं. When we talk about the third battle of Panipat, we need to remember the first thing, that is the year. सबसे पहले जो इम्पोर्टेंट चीज हमें याद रखनी है थर्ड बैटल ऑफ पानीपत में या कोई भी इवेंट में इंडियन हिस्ट्री में, वो है ईयर्स. ठीक है, साल याद रखने हैं. तो थर्ड बैटल ऑफ पानीपत आपका होता है 1761 में. ठीक है, इन 1761 वी सी द थर्ड बैटल ऑफ पानीपत. Now we all know that the third battle of Panipat, it took place on 14th of Jan 1761 and it took place at Panipat. Now the question is, why Panipat? Why Panipat was such a significant place? So what stands out in all the three battles of Panipat is the fact that the dispute or the reason for war was never the city of Panipat. Panipat was always an entrance to Delhi. The main aim was to capture Delhi and Panipat was the entrance. Historically, anyone from the northwest who wanted to capture Delhi had to come through the Khyber Pass, Punjab, enter Panipat and then capture Delhi. That is why this place is considered as a significant place. Okay, point clear? So let's start understanding the third battle of Panipat. Third battle of Panipat, as we all know, it is the largest fought battle of the 18th century. And here there were many thousands of casualties that took place on both the sides, both the Maratha and the Afghan army. Now it happened on the 14th of Jan 1761. You have to remember at least the year. Okay. And it was fought between the two very massive empires. First was the Maratha army led by Sadashiv Rao Bhau versus the Afghan army which was led by the Ahmad Shah Durrani, also known as Ahmad Shah Abdullah. And Ahmad Shah Durrani won the battle. Afghan side won the battle. He was supported by Rohillas, Najib-ud-Dawla, the Awadh state, Shuja-ud-Dawla and Mughal Empire. They were supported by the the Rohillas, Awadh state and Mughal Empire, and even Maratha army. Initially, it got support from Shuja-ud-Dawla, but later on Shuja-ud-Dawla changed his side and parted with Afghan army, Ahmad Shah Durrani, and gave him all the financial help which was required in this battle. So let us understand the background of the battle. Background समझते हैं battle का. Decline of Mughal Empire following the 27-year Mughal Maratha War which took place between 1680 to 1707. It had led to rapid territorial gains for the Maratha Empire. And under Peshwa Baji Rao, Gujarat and Malwa came under Maratha control. So finally in 1737, Baji Rao defeated Mughals on the outskirts of Delhi and brought much of the former Mughal territories south of Delhi under the Maratha control. And this brought the Marathas into direct confrontation with the Durrani Empire of Ahmad Shah Abdali. So in 1759, Durrani, he raised an army from the Pashtun tribes and made several gains against the smaller Maratha garrisons in Punjab. He then joined with his Indian allies, the Rohilla Afghans of the Gangetic Doab, forming a broad coalition against the Marathas, and then he marched towards the Marathas to defeat them. Now let us understand the role of Shuja-ud-Dawla in this battle. So both the Marathas as well as Afghans, they tried to get Nawab of Awadh, Shuja-ud-Dawla, into their camp. And by late July, Shuja-ud-Dawla made the decision to join the Afghan Rohilla coalition, preferring to join what was perceived as the army of Islam. He used to think that the Afghan Rohilla coalition, it is the army of Islam and I should join my side. Okay, but this was a major loss for the Marathas. Why? This was a strategically major loss for Marathas because Shuja-ud-Dawla provided much needed finances for the long Afghan stay in North India. It is doubtful whether the Afghan Rohilla coalition would have the means to continue their conflict with the Marathas without Shuja's support because he provided all the financial support to the Afghan army. Now coming on towards another important event in this battle, which was cutting off the supplies. In August 1760, the Maratha camp finally reached Delhi and took the city, captured the city. Their plan was to capture Delhi and then to, remove the Afghan army, wipe them out. So along the bank of Yamuna river, they entered into a battle of Kunjpura after capturing Delhi. They entered into the battle of Kunjpura against the Afghan army, and the Marathas won that small battle. Okay, that was a brief battle which was won by Marathas against the Afghan army. However, Abdullah daringly crossed the river Yamuna in October at Bagpat, cutting off the Maratha camp from their base in Delhi. This eventually turned into a 2-month-long siege which was led by Abdullah against the Marathas in the town of Panipat. And during this siege, both the sides tried to cut off others' supplies, at which the Afghans were considerably more effective. And it is said that by the end of November 1760, they had cut off almost all the food supplies into the besieged Maratha camp. And the food in the Maratha camp ran out by late December or early January, and the cattle died by the thousands. Reports of soldiers dying of starvation began to be heard in early January. And it is said that with no supplies, soldiers started dying, and the Maratha chiefs begged their commander, Sadashiv Rao Bhau, to be allowed to die in battle than perish by starvation. Maratha soldiers, they asked their leader Sadashiv Rao Bhau that instead of dying with starvation and hunger, we want to fight in the battle and die in the battle. In a desperate attempt to break this siege, the Marathas left their camp. They marched towards the Afghan camp. And the battle lasted for several of days and involved more than 1,25,000 troops. It is said that the forces led by Ahmad Shah Durrani came out victorious after destroying several Maratha soldiers. It is said that around 60 to 70,000 were killed in fighting. About 40,000 Maratha prisoners were also slaughtered. Even Sadashiv Rao Bhau also very bravely died in the battle. Now let us understand the result of this battle. See, after effects were that immediately after the battle, Afghan army massacred thousands of Maratha soldiers, including the civilians. Many women and children were taken as slaves in the Afghan camp. 40,000 Maratha prisoners were slaughtered in cold blood. They were directly slaughtered. They were killed, massacred. Sadashiv Rao Bhau and Peshwa's son Vishwas Rao, they were also killed in the battle. And it is said that Durrani did not remain in India too long. He did not stay in India to rule India. Instead, he reinstated Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II in Delhi. And Maratha rise was initially checked. It was initially controlled. But it is said that after 10 years, that is in 1771, 10 years after Panipat battle, Peshwa Madhav Rao sent a large Maratha army into North India and re-established the Maratha domination in North India. So this was the third battle of Panipat. ये था आपका third battle Panipat का. Before we sign off, here's a small announcement for all of you. Unacademy is conducting All India Free Scholarship Test, Unacademy Combat, this Sunday on July 11th, 11 a.m. in the morning. So in this scholarship test, which is free of cost, you can stand a chance to win 1 year Unacademy subscription, and also Rank 1 will win Apple iPad mini, Rank 2 will get AirPod, and Rank 3 will be awarded with JBL speakers. So participate in this Unacademy Combat. Use code ARPITA10, click on the link given below in the description box, download the Unacademy Learning app and participate on July 11 a.m. in the morning. This was all about the third battle of Panipat 1761. Slowly and gradually we will study the second battle and then we will reach out to the first battle of Panipat. This is the battle which is the most significant in the history of 18th century India. Make sure that you make small notes out of these battles and study them from the perspective of both prelims and GS paper 1 mains.